So my name is Rajae El Mouhandiz. That's the way you actually pronounce it. And I live my name. It means stronger than hope and less than will. And they call me a creative musical pioneer. I am a North African, an immigrant, a Muslim, a European, and I belong to the world. So I want to share 3 life lessons with you. And the reason why I want to share these lessons learned is because I hope that somewhere out there, someone is watching this talk who might be the next Rumi, Fayrouz, Picasso, or Van Gogh, and who might have a similar background as I do. But in fact, it could be anyone sitting here in the audience. It could be any one of you. So here's lesson 1. You can only determine your future if you know where you come from. I was born in Rajae, a coastal town in northern Morocco. And when I was 9 months old, we moved to Amsterdam in the Netherlands, where my father lived. And my life has been a remarkable journey ever since. When I was 3, my parents divorced. And after spending 9 months in a shelter, we moved to another part of Amsterdam. And from then on, my mother raised us. How brave a woman, raising all these kids by herself. And I grew up witnessing her as a divorcee, shunned by her siblings and community, struggling in a country where she knew no one, unable to read or write, and Allah, her witness and support. Raising a child like me was a big challenge. Not only did we come from a tribal culture, a colonial past, and family trauma, but we also came from that tribal culture where the circle of family life was number 1. And I, on the other hand, was obsessed with dance and playing classical music and writing poetry and composing songs. I needed my space away from the circle to cope with not having a father, not having an identity, roots. And then one day the unthinkable happened. My mom told me that I had to give up music. She wanted to bring me back to reality. She wanted to ground me. She wanted to bring me back to our cultural values and to my family values as well. But I didn't let her. I couldn't let go of my dreams, of my passion. I couldn't let go of my life rope, my coping mechanism. So I left, and I closed the door for good. And today, it's been almost 20 years since that summer day when I was 15. And that change had a massive impact on my life. From the moment I left, my childhood had ended. And in a way, it was karmic. Because my mom married and expected a child when she was 15. When I left, I knew it was the painful birth of my dreams and destiny. I then learned to beat bullies with patience, creative talent, and perseverance. See, when you dare to live your dreams, you have to pay the price that comes with it. A ballerina doesn't complain about her dancing feet. Muhammad Ali didn't complain about the punches that came with boxing. The pain and the hard work is a metaphor for the transformative mandala work that Buddhist monks have mastered so well. It's like plowing the earth where no one has before, and this work is hard and it's painful, but it's work that has to be done to pave the way for others, because art is a catalyst. Art is the grammar we use to tell stories like mine, an immigrant forming a new identity, and like yours, a European trying to understand your identity in a changing society. Lesson 2. To understand and show empathy, you have to learn from others' experiences. Once upon a time, my ancestors were superheroes. My great-grandfather was a Moroccan superhero who fled from Beni Elehem to Admam, an insulated place 1,400 meters high up in the Rif Mountains, to hide from the French occupation. His son, my grandfather, was a superhero who organized and financed the resistance in his region during the Spanish occupation, and consequently, they killed him. And my Algerian grandfather was a superhero who escaped by foot from Mascara in Algeria to Tayen in Morocco during the French occupation. He did so to avoid the bloodshed. And he found peace in Morocco. But 40 days after the passing of my grandmother, he died of a broken heart because he loved her so. Both my mom and my dad never overcame the loss of their parents. How can I, knowing what they have lost, hold anything against them? Colonialism, war, oppression, broken families cause so much suffering. We need to learn from our collective past. We need to learn from our current times. Because if we don't, this might continue to happen in our children's futures. Lesson 3. Your past doesn't define your future. Your willpower, your intention, and actions do. Recently, I read a beautiful article on a large news site by a very brave and remarkable Chinese artist. His name is Ai Weiwei, and I would like to share a quote from this article. I would like to ask you to take a second to absorb it. It's really worth it. And the reason why I wanted to share this quote with you is because even though he's talking about his context, his situation in China, I can also relate to it being an immigrant in Europe. See, the painful history of Europe's immigrants is buried away from a lost and frustrated youth. Integration needs a starting point, but in the beginning there are obstacles and struggles and tears. Isn't it about time that these pages of history are added to the history books in schools and to the lyrics of songs? And I activated my superhero DNA when I left home and decided not to start a pity party and not to start some sad songs. And I decided not to give up, but instead I molded my sadness into passion and my tears into melodies. It gave me time and space to study how the prophets practiced patience and compassion, and how Rumi followed his heart, and how Buddhist monks create transformative mandalas, and how ballerinas practice perfect pirouettes, and how my big hero, Muhammad Ali, floats like a butterfly and stings like a bee. It is their wisdom that encouraged me to work even harder. And against all odds, I overcame my childhood. Against all odds, I overcame not having an identity. Against all odds, I studied music, and I developed a skill set and a support network. And at the age of 25, I started my own record label, Truth Seeker Records. And now at 34, I wonder, I could have become anything. I could have become a drug addict or prostitute. I could have become a teen mom, but I didn't. Instead, God and good people groomed me. They helped me develop a thick skin, and they paved the way for me to blaze forward. And for that, I will always be grateful. And my dream is that each and every one of you will take a moment to ask the person sitting next to you, or your colleague, or your neighbor, your parents, and your grandparents about the wars and struggles they have had to overcome. And while you think about your own struggles and about your own journey, I hope you realize how far you have already come on sheer willpower. See, we are all brave, and we all hide tears, and we are all able to rewrite our hybrid global identities. Thank you. And salam.